Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and today we'll talk about is Rocket Companies a buy? And this is a stock that you guys asked me to do last time on like the request to stock video, so I'll be covering this one today. But comment down below on this one, let me know what stock you'd like to see next, and I'll try to cover it next week for you guys. It was quite a close one actually on this one. I think Rocket Companies just took it, but Beyond Meats was very close to it, and there was another company, I think it was BT, that was just behind it as well. So it was a very close one, but Rocket Companies did just take it on this one, guys. So like I say, comment down below, let me know what you'd like me to do next. The one that gets the most thumbs up is the one that I'll do. So if your stock's already posted, guys, don't post it again, just like the one that you want me to do, so we don't have 10 comments of the same stock here, because I look for the one with the most votes. So yeah, do that, guys, and I'll get onto it next week. But yeah, we'll talk about Rocket Companies now. If you're new around here, guys, make sure you subscribe. You guys that have always been around here, you guys smash the like button, and we'll take a look at Rocket Companies. So at first, I actually didn't know this company. I kind of heard about an IPO at some point, but I didn't know much more than that. So this is kind of a brand new one for me. And I thought, Rocket Companies, is it something to do with like space? But it's not. It's kind of a financial play. Especially after just doing Lemonade like a few days ago, I thought, is this like another Lemonade that we have on our hands? But then I looked, and the company's been around for a long time. I looked at the actual market cap of the company as well, and I was like, it's a fair big company. And the really interesting thing as well is that it's a company making profit, and it's an IPO, which is like a weird combination. I was like, wow, this could get quite interesting, really. So I'll go through some of the like stock prices. I'll take a look at what the company's about. I'll talk about the financials, and then I'll talk about if I'm buying it towards the end of the video. So starting off on a stock market chart point of view, ticker symbol is RKT. This stock IPO'd in August, and it closed about $21. It then dropped around about into the teen range, and then from the teen range, it's actually gone up quite a fair bit. It's slightly pulled back a little bit over the last few days. Obviously, the stock market in general pulled back a little bit, so it's kind of getting back to the low 20 mark. But obviously, like, there hasn't been much interest really in this IPO so far. It's kind of stayed flat. So, like I say, interested on the price front as well. That it hasn't, changed that much. But currently at $24 of recording this video. Interesting that we see a P ratio of 9 as well. That'd be interesting, which we'll have a look at a little bit later on. And also a big market cap, 47 billion market cap. It's quite a big IPO really. Normally when we talk about IPOs, if they are in the billion range, we're only talking 1, 2, 3 billion, something like that. But 47 billion is a pretty decent size. So like I say, this company is based in Detroit, US, and it's been around for a while. It's been around. It got founded in 1985, so it's quite an old company, really. When we look at what they actually do, the company is actually involved in quite a lot of financial things. It's involved in mortgages. It's got something called Rocket Homes, Rocket Loans, Rocket Auto, Rocket Central. So there's a lot of little side hustles that it has going on here. It's kind of not just focused on one financial like personal financial thing. There's a lot of things, but its main focus does seem to be around its mortgage rate. So when we do go onto the actual company website, it goes on to say about how it's tech driven, it's involved in the mortgages, the nation's largest mortgage lender since 1985, which is kind of interesting. Looked at how much of the market they controlled, and they have quite a decent chunk of the market. Different figures ranging, some of them saying up to 7% of the market, some saying a little bit more than that. So it does control quite a bit of this market at the moment. And what the company's trying to focus on is kind of, reinventing that industry, the mortgage industry. We saw this kind of with Lemonade and how they were doing it. And Rocket Company is kind of the same right now. They're trying to be a little bit more AI, quick, easy solutions to getting insurances. And that's where it needs to go, It's a sector that has not been disrupted for a very long time. And obviously Rocket Companies are another company that thinks we need to make this digital, nice and easy, get loans out, and make it easy for people to apply to them. Now I'm going to say this about Rocket Companies. I was a little bit disappointed because whenever I talk about a stock on this channel, or whenever I want to give information about a stock on this channel, I always go into the annual report, because obviously in the annual report you get like focuses of like how they want the company to grow. They go about every individual thing in the company. But when you actually go onto Rocket Company's investor relations, there's actually no annual report on there, which is kind of disappointing. I wanted something to read through. There is the second quarter earnings call, which I have not listened to yet, but I might actually listen to it to get the actual annual report. There is one, but for some reason they make it really hard to get hold of it, and you actually have to contact them to get the annual report, which is a bit frustrating. Like, why not just post it on the website? So I am tempted to actually listen to this call and then try get the annual report to to get a bit more information on this company. So before I would say that I would even invest into this company, I need to get hands on that. So if you want me to kind of do an updated opinion after I've gone through the earnings call, and also when I've gone through the annual report as well, I might do that for you guys if you want to see it. But yeah, that was kind of frustrating because I can't go into depth as in much as what I normally do because of there not being an annual report there. But what was quite interesting is they actually did post their Q2 numbers, and their Q2 numbers were actually really fantastic. The stock went up a little bit after it, but quarter over quarter there was a lot of growth going on in here in what was going on in the Q2, which was a really positive when you're looking into it. If it can carry on doing this sort of growth, then it looks like a really fantastic company, especially for a company that's been around so long and a financial company to have growth like that. If you could do growth like that every time, that'd be absolutely amazing. Two things that I like to look into, especially with insurance companies, is like the reviews, how good people review them. Seems like they're kind of in the middle. Seems like some people really like using them. Some people give them a bit of a negative press. So it was kind of on the fence. It wasn't as good as what like Lemonade was, but I compared it to some other kind of people that are in this kind of industry, like Hastings and stuff like that. Like I say, it was kind of in the middle, about 3.5, so doesn't seem too bad. The retention rate though is pretty decent, so they are currently keeping about 75% of the customers, which obviously you want to be trying to do. Compared to like the industry, which is like 25%, shows you that it is actually outperforming the industry, which is a really positive thing. So then we go on to some actual financial side of the company, and P ratio of 10 or 9 now after the drop. Very cheap, yeah, compared to what the industry and market is, especially when you're talking about this is compared to like a lot of, you know, brick and mortar kind of insurance plays, where obviously this is trying to focus a lot more on digital, online. So it's pretty cheap on the price to earnings ratio. And like I say, we don't normally have an IPO where IPO is at a P ratio of 10. On the growth front, not 100% sure on this forecast that Simply Wall Street gave. But if we just go from a historical point of view, we can see that revenue has done okay. And especially in 2019, it was very strong. And all the way up to June this year as well, another massive jump on the revenue front. Earnings have kind of done okay, which is fair enough. It's making profit, which I guess is good. A little bit of explosion recently, and yeah, forecast for this year seems strong, and then it's expected to slow down and kind of go back to kind of flatline a little bit from 22 to 2023. But from a revenue point of view and earnings point of view, you know, obviously if they carry on at the rate they're kind of doing with a lot of AI keeping the customers, we should see the revenue and earnings actually slightly increase. So I think maybe Simple Wall Street have a little bit of the forecast a little bit wrong here, maybe with it being an IPO. When we look at the balance sheet, there is a high debt to equity ratio. So debt to equity is 395%, debt 21 billion, equity 5 billion, which could kind of be a little bit better. The cash 4.1 billion, the debt 21 billion. So it is a little bit light on the cash to debt ratio that I would like, but we're talking about a financial play. Like a lot of these always have debt on them and less cash. So it's kind of expected. Just maybe a little bit more cash would be slightly better than what it is right now. But it's not terrible. You know, 4 billion in cash is, you know, a lot to be burning through, isn't it? So not too many major red flags. And then what interests me is actually because of the IPO, there was a lot of actually people buying the company, which was actually like the CEO. The CEO actually bought a lot of shares in the company as well, which I thought was a really positive sign. We also had the founder also buy shares as well, which once again, they're still on the board as well, which is absolutely fantastic. So that's a really positive sign. So overall, what's my kind of opinion with Rocket Company as well? It's a very interesting one, a very cheap valuation, especially when you think about the growth that they've just posted, and can they carry on doing pretty decent growth? You would hope so, with it being a bit more of a digital play and it kind of getting compared to a lot of these brick and mortar companies as well. You look at what the stock chart's done, even at an IPO price, it's a pretty decent IPO price. I would like to get my hands on that annual report and go through the annual report. I would also like to go through the Q2 conference call and just listen to what the team had to say, get an understanding what they think about these growth numbers as well. So if you want me to kind of go through them and then do another video on it, I would be willing to do it. But at the moment, I'm actually quite interested in this company. I'm actually willing to do a little bit more research and go through that conference call and annual report. I just kind of had to put this video up because I had no video coming up, so I had to do it a little bit earlier than what I'd like to give a few more details on it. But it seems really interesting, especially on that valuation side of it. And I think if this company could get back to, maybe the teen range, this company seems a solid buy to me. Like I say, I just need to go through a few more details myself before I go buy into this company to have that confidence in it. But I think if you can get this for under $20, that's a bit of a bargain on this one. So at the moment, I might have to rate this company a buy. Personally, I won't be buying just at the moment because I just need to read the annual report and go for the conference call, but a very good suggestion. So I like what I'm seeing at the moment with this company. And that's the video today, guys, talking about rocket companies. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it gave you a bit more information, even if it didn't have the annual report in there. But I'll try to get through that at some point, guys. So comment down below, let me know what stock you'd like me to do next, and I will try to do that stock for you next week, guys. As always, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you in the next video.